Hello everyone, in this video I am going to talk about transient behavior in a parallel RLC circuit when it is energized with a DC current source. Now, DC voltage source is avoided to connect with this parallel combination as initially the capacitor would draw a current impulse charging instantly to the DC voltage level and the current would stop showing no transient. So instead of a DC voltage source, a DC current source has been used here. When the switch is turned on at t equal to 0, the capacitor behaves like a short circuit at t equal to 0 plus, allowing the entire current flow through it. Let us assume the voltage of this point P be V of t. And let us also assume that initially the circuit is relaxed completely. That means no charge is stored in the capacitor before turn on of this switch, and no initial current is also flowing through the inductor before this switch is made on. Now applying Kirchhoff's current law or KCL at node P for t is greater than 0, we get input DC current I is the sum of all branch currents. Current through the resistance is IRT, current through the inductor is IL of t, and current through the capacitance is IC of t. Now current through the resistance can be written as voltage at point P by R. Current through the inductance, let us write it down simply IL of t, and as we know, current through a capacitor is given by C times of dVc dt. So let us write it here C times of dVt by dt, since Vt is the voltage across the capacitance also for this parallel combination, and this expression is true only for t is higher than 0. This is very important. Let us introduce the concept of unit step function here. A unit step function is denoted by ut and is defined as unity for t is higher than 0 and equal to 0 otherwise. That means before t equal to 0, the value of ut is 0. At t equal to 0, we do not know the exact value of ut, but at t equal to 0 plus, just after the instant of t equal to 0, we have a unity magnitude. Like suppose if the value is k, we can multiply this function k times of ut. That is ft equal to k for t is higher than 0 and equal to 0 for t is less than 0. So at t equal to 0 is the point of discontinuity. This is the point of discontinuity. In the KCL, to consider the effect of this switch which is turned on at t equal to 0, we can multiply the source DC current with a unit step function I of ut. That means the DC source is applied to the system at t equal to 0, not before that. Otherwise, we need to mention that KCL is valid only for t is greater than 0. Therefore, all the expressions of transients are also valid for t is higher than 0. All this expression of IRT, ILT and ICT, Vt finally can be multiplied with a unit step function if the analysis is being started at t equal to 0 instant. Now the KCL written here contains both variable voltage and current. Let us eliminate the current term IL in terms of this voltage Vt, because if the voltage of this parallel RLC branch is known once, we can find out all other responses, that are the inductor current, current through the resistance, current through the capacitance, using this voltage only. Now how this inductor current and capacitor current are related with this voltage? We know that from these relations, voltage across the inductor is given by L times of di dt, where I is the current through the inductor. Current through the capacitor is given by C times of time derivative of voltage across it. So to eliminate this ILT term, let us use this relation VLT equal to L times of DIL dt. So we can write down ILT, that is the inductor current, is 1 upon L times of time integral of voltage. Tau is the dummy variable, limit of integration is 0 to t, and there some additional term IL 0 minus, that is the initial inductor current, if any. For an initially relaxed system, this I0 minus is equal to 0. We have already stated that. If we substitute this current IL with this term, we have Vt by R plus 1 upon L integration 0 to t v tau d tau plus C of dVt by dt. So this is equation number 1. Let us differentiate the KCL to eliminate the integral term. I of ut, if you take differentiate of this term, it will be 0 because it is a constant term. That is equal to 1 upon R times of dV dt, derivative of voltage, and the integral term disappears, leaving only the voltage term 1 by L times of Vt, and the final term is C times of double derivative of the voltage. So which is a second order homogeneous differential equation in voltage. Let us rewrite this equation in this form. By dividing it with C, we have d2V by dt2 plus 1 by RC times of dV dt plus 1 upon LC times of Vt equal to 0. In short, we can write down V double dot, that is the double derivative of voltage, plus 1 upon RC times of V dot, that is first order derivative of voltage, plus 1 upon LC times of V, that is equal to 0. Let us solve this differential equation to obtain the expression of voltage. The characteristics equation of this differential equation is P square plus 1 upon RCP plus 1 upon LC equal to 0. Here P represents this ddt term, the derivative operator. Now this is the characteristics equation. The solution of the characteristics equation, applying this rule, we have P12 is coming out to be minus of 1 by twice RC plus minus under root of 1 by twice RC whole square minus 1 upon LC. Let us write the first term as minus alpha and the second term as plus minus beta, where alpha is 1 by twice RC and beta is under root of 1 by twice RC whole square minus 1 upon LC. Now this alpha is known as also damping factor, and the term 1 upon root LC is called natural frequency of oscillation, denoted by omega n. This is natural frequency of oscillation. The normalized damping factor or damping ratio denoted by zeta. So zeta is the normalized damping factor or simply damping ratio. It is the ratio of damping factor alpha and natural frequency of oscillation omega n. If we put the values of alpha and omega n in terms of R, L and C, so alpha is coming out to be 1 by twice RC and omega n is 1 upon under root LC. So zeta is coming out to be 1 upon 2R under root L by C. As we know, the second part of the roots of the characteristics equation, that is beta, is given by 1 by twice RC whole square minus 1 upon LC. So this beta can also be written in this form also, alpha square minus omega n square. Since 1 by 2 RC, this term is alpha and this term is omega n square. If we take common omega n, it would be alpha by omega n whole square minus unity. So alpha by omega n is again damping ratio zeta. So beta can be written in this form, omega n times of zeta square minus 1, and alpha is the 1 by twice RC. It is also zeta times of omega n. Zeta equal to alpha by omega n, so alpha equal to zeta times of omega n. Finally, the roots of the characteristics equation can be expressed in terms of these dynamic variables zeta and omega n. They are given by P1, P2 equal to minus alpha plus minus beta. In place of alpha, we will write minus zeta omega n plus minus under root zeta square minus 1 times of omega n. Now case 1, when zeta is higher than unity, from that we have zeta square is also higher than unity. So zeta square means alpha square by omega n square is higher than unity. Alpha square is higher than omega n square. From that we have 1 by twice RC whole square is higher than 1 upon LC. So zeta is higher than unity, that also implies that this beta is higher than 0. So the roots are real and unequal. So roots are given by minus alpha plus minus beta. So the roots are real and unequal. For this case, the solution of voltage is in this form: Vt equal to C1 into e to the power P1t plus C2 into e to the power P2t multiplied by ut. Since this expression is valid only for t is greater than 0. And here C1 and C2, these are the arbitrary constants. If P1 and P2 is replaced by alpha and beta, we get multiplied by ut. So if we take common e to the power minus alpha t, it will be C1 times of e to the power beta t plus C2 times of e to the power minus beta t multiplied by u of t. Since after turn on instant, the capacitor acts as a short circuit and the voltage across the branch at t equal to 0 plus is 0. So at t equal to 0, we have V equal to 0. So voltage becomes 0 when t equal to 0. So e to the power 0 into C1 into e to the power 0 plus C2 into e to the power 0, and values of ut is 1 at t equal to 0 plus. So from that we have C1 plus C2 equal to 0. That means C2 equal to minus C1. If we substitute this relation C2 equal to minus C1, here we have V of t is equal to, if C1 is taken common, e to the power minus alpha t, e to the power beta t minus e to the power minus beta t. If we take a 2 common outside the bracket, 2 will be introduced in the denominator of this term. This term is actually a hyperbolic function given by sine of h beta t. Vt is twice C1 e to the power minus alpha t sine of h beta t multiplied by ut. This expression is also multiplied by u of t. This is the expression of voltage across the branch. Now the value of C1 can be found from another initial condition. That is, initially the capacitor behaves like a short circuit. So the entire current I is flowing through C at t equal to 0 plus. The time expression of capacitor current at t equal to 0 plus can be obtained from the relation I equal to C times of dv dt. So I 0 plus equal to C times of dv dt at 0 plus. So C times of, if you take derivative of this expression with respect to time, we have twice C1 times of beta of e to the power minus alpha t cosine h beta t minus twice C1 e to the power minus alpha t into alpha sin h beta t. From that we have I0 plus is entire current, DC current I, that is equal to C times of twice C1 into beta e to the power 0 equal to 1 cos h beta t at t equal to 0 equal to 1 minus sin h beta t at t equal to 0 is 0 minus 0. So the constant C1 is coming out to be I by twice beta of C. If we put this expression C1 in the solution of the voltage, we have voltage equal to I by twice beta C times of e to the power minus alpha t sine of h beta t multiplied by u of t. So this is the final expression of voltage across the RLC branch. If we plot this voltage, we have an overdamped response. Initially the capacitor is shorted, So the voltage across the branch is 0. And finally the inductor is shorted. So at steady state the voltage is also 0. So starting from t equal to 0 plus to t tends to infinity, the voltage trajectory is overdamped in nature, and this is the expression of voltage. Now the next case, case 2, when the damping ratio is unity, that is zeta equal to unity. So zeta square is also unity. From that we can easily check that alpha square equal to omega n square, that is 1 by twice RC whole square is equal to 1 upon LC. The roots of the characteristics equation is given by P12 equal to minus 1 by twice RC plus minus under root of 1 by twice RC whole square minus 1 upon LC. So from this relation we have the second part, beta is equal to 0. Now for this case the roots are real and also equal. So P12 can be written as only minus alpha since beta is equal to 0. So P1 equal to P2 equal to minus alpha equal to minus 1 upon twice RC. For this case the solution of voltage would become C1 plus C2 times T whole multiplied by e to the power minus alpha t ut. And from the initial condition at t equal to 0 plus voltage across the RLC branch is 0, we have Vt equal to 0 plus, that is equal to C1 plus C2 multiplied by 0 multiplied by e to the power 0 into unity. This is coming out to be C1. So we have C1 is 0. Initial capacitor current at t equal to 0 plus equal to I. So C dV dt at t equal to 0 plus is equal to I. So from that we have C ddt of this voltage expression, that is since C1 is 0 we will write only C2 times of t into e to the power minus alpha t at t equal to 0 plus, this is equal to I. So C times of C2 is constant, ddt of t into e to the power minus alpha t is coming out to be e to the power minus alpha t minus alpha into t into e to the power minus alpha t, that is equal to I, and this value is valid for t equal to 0 plus. So C times of C2 into e to the power 0 is 1 and the second part t is 0, it will be 0 equal to I. So from that we have C2 constant, this arbitrary constant is coming out to be I upon C. So the final expression of voltage for damping ratio is equal to unity is coming out to be I upon C times of t e to the power minus alpha t u of t. So this type of response for unity damping ratio is known as critically damped response. Moving on to case 3, for zeta less than unity, damping ratio less than unity, we have zeta square is also less than unity. So alpha by omega n whole square is less than unity. So alpha square is less than omega n square. From that we have 1 by twice RC, that is the value of alpha. Alpha whole square is less than omega n square. Omega n square is 1 upon LC. And the roots of the characteristics equation P1 P2 are given by minus 1 by twice RC plus minus under root 1 by twice RC whole square minus 1 by LC. So from this relation we have the first term alpha is there, and the second part the discriminant of this root P1 P2 are negative. So when zeta less than unity, the roots of the CR equation are complex conjugates 1 upon 2 RC whole square minus 1 upon LC. This is nothing but beta square, and from this relation we have beta square is negative, is less than 0. Let us define minus of beta square is equal to omega d square. So roots are, so beta square equal to minus of omega d square. So beta can be written as root over of minus omega d square, that is equal to j times of omega d. Here j equal to root over minus 1. So roots can be written as minus alpha plus minus j of omega d. So for complex conjugate roots, the solution of the voltage can be written in this form: Vt equal to C1 cosine omega dt plus C2 sine omega dt multiplied by e to the power minus alpha t times of u of t. And these two arbitrary constants C1 and C2 can be computed from the initial voltage, which is 0, V0 plus equal to 0. Let us put it. So 0 equal to C1 cos omega dt, it is also unity, plus C2 into sin omega t, it is 0, omega dt is 0 at t equal to 0, multiplied by e to the power 0 into unity. So C1 is coming out to be 0. So we can write down the expression in this form: Vt is only C2 times of e to the power minus alpha t into sine of omega dt. Here omega d is what? Omega d is 1 upon LC minus 1 by 2RC whole square under root of this expression. Now this arbitrary constant C2 can be found from this expression IC0 plus, that is the capacitor current, initial current is I. So C times of dV0 plus dt equal to I. So taking derivative of this expression with respect to time, we have C2 into e to the power minus alpha t omega d cos omega dt minus C2 e to the power minus alpha t into alpha into sin omega dt equal to I. This expression is valid for t equal to 0 plus. So we have C times of e to the power 0 equal to unity, cosine 0 is also unity, C times of C2 into omega d minus C2 into sin of omega dt is 0, so the entire term becomes 0 equal to I. So C2 is coming out to be I upon omega d times of capacitance C. So the final expression of voltage across the RLC branch for damping ratio is less than unity is given by I by omega d times of C e to the power minus alpha t sine of omega dt, where omega d is equal to omega n root over 1 minus zeta square. So this expression of voltage exhibits underdamped oscillation. So the expression of voltage for underdamped oscillation is given by I by omega d times of C e to the power minus alpha t. This is the exponentially decaying amplitude multiplied by sine of omega dt multiplied by u of t. Here also we need to multiply the entire expression with u of t. Here also u of t, because all these expressions are valid only for t is higher than 0. So the oscillation gradually decays to 0 at steady state. Now the special case, if the resistance is omitted from the parallel RLC branch, so R tends to infinity and 1 by twice RC for R tends to infinity, this value will be 0. So alpha becomes equal to 0, and we know alpha equal to zeta times of omega n. Since alpha equal to 0 but omega n not equal to 0, so zeta will be 0 for this case. P12 roots of the characteristics equation can be written in this form: minus alpha plus minus beta. Alpha is 0, so plus minus beta. Beta is what? Plus minus under root 1 by 2 RC whole square, that is 0, minus 1 upon LC. So we can write it down, plus minus j times of j is root over minus 1 into omega n. The roots are complex conjugate and also purely imaginary. The expression of voltage across the RLC branch for this case can be obtained from the expression of underdamped response. This, if zeta equal to 0, omega d will become omega n times of under root 1 minus zeta square, we know that. So for zeta equal to 0, omega d will become equal to omega n and alpha is 0. So using these two conditions, here we have the expression of voltage is I by omega dc. In place of omega dc, we write omega n c e to the power alpha, alpha is 0, so it is unity, sine of omega d is actually omega n t. So the voltage exhibits sustained oscillation with natural frequency omega n, and this is the time period of oscillation twice pi by natural frequency of oscillation omega n. Let us summarize the responses of voltage across the parallel RLC branch for different values of damping ratio. For zeta greater than 1, damping ratio is higher than unity, we have overdamped response, and this is the expression of the voltage for overdamped response. For zeta equal to unity, this is the critically damped response, and this is the expression of voltage across the parallel RLC branch. For zeta is less than unity, we have underdamped response given by Vt equal to this one. Here omega d is the damped frequency of oscillation, and when zeta equal to 0, that is resistance is omitted, the voltage exhibits undamped response. Vt equal to, in place of omega d we write omega n and alpha is 0, that is sustained oscillation. Roots of the CR equation is given by minus alpha plus minus beta. Alpha is the damping factor given by 1 upon twice RC, and beta is under root of 1 by twice RC whole square minus 1 upon LC. Alpha can be written as minus of zeta times of omega n, and beta can be written as plus minus omega n times of under root zeta square minus 1. Here omega n is the natural frequency of oscillation given by 1 upon under root LC. Alpha is the damping factor 1 by twice RC. Zeta is the normalized damping factor or damping ratio alpha by omega n, and its value is 1 by twice r times of under root L by C. Once we get the expression of voltage across the parallel RLC branch, from that we can easily calculate the current through the resistance given by 1 by r times of voltage, current through the inductor ILT 1 by L time integral of voltage, and current through the capacitance given by C times of time derivative of the voltage across the parallel RLC branch. So let us compare between the RLC series and RLC parallel transients. For RLC series circuit, we have observed due to certain DC voltage excitation in RLC series combination, we get this type of differential equation of current, and in case of RLC parallel circuit excited with DC current source, we have the expression of voltage across the parallel branch. For this case, we get the roots of the characteristics equations are given by minus r by twice L plus minus under root r by twice L whole square minus 1 upon LC. But here we get the roots of the characteristics equation is given by 1 by twice RC plus minus under root 1 by twice RC whole square minus 1 upon LC. So for series RLC circuit, this value is alpha. For parallel RLC circuit, 1 upon 2 RC, this is our alpha, where alpha is the damping factor. For a initially relaxed series RLC circuit, due to the presence of inductor, the initial current before the switch is turned on at t equal to 0 is same equal to the current just after the instant of switch is on, that is I0 minus equal to I0 plus. And since inductor initially acts like a open circuit, voltage across the inductor at t equal to 0 plus that is given by L di dt is equal to entire DC source voltage V. But in case of parallel RLC circuit fed with a DC current source, due to the capacitor which is short circuited at t equal to 0 plus, voltage across the parallel RLC branch is 0, and current through the capacitor at t equal to 0 plus is given by C dV dt, which is equal to entire DC source current I. The expression of zeta for series RLC circuit is given by R by 2 times of under root C by L. But in case of parallel RLC circuit, it is given by 1 upon 2 R under root L by C. R becomes 1 by R here, C is replaced by L and L is replaced by C in the expression of damping ratio zeta. So R becomes reciprocal, L and C exchange their position in this ratio. Let us solve a simple numerical on parallel RLC circuit. In this circuit, it is asked to find the current through each branch at time 0.1 second. So let us write down the KCL in terms of voltage across the combination. We get input current I equal to V by R plus 1 by L integral 0 to t V dt plus C dV dt. If you take derivative, we get 0 equal to 1 by R dV dt plus 1 by L Vt plus C times of d2 Vt by dt2. So the differential equation becomes V double dot plus 1 by Rc times of V dot plus 1 by Lc times of V equal to 0. So the characteristics equation will be P square plus 1 upon Rc times of P plus 1 upon Lc equal to 0. If we compute the value 1 by Rc, it will be 1 by 0.5 into 1 farad, that is 2. 1 by Lc, 1 by 0.5 into 1, this is also 2. The equation will become P square plus twice P plus 2 equal to 0. So from that, P1, P2 can be written in this form: minus B plus minus under root B square minus 4AC by 2. So we get minus 1 plus minus J. So the roots are complex conjugate. So the roots are P1, P2 minus 1 plus minus J. So alpha equal to minus 1, beta equal to 1. Sorry, this is not beta. Instead of beta, we can write it down in terms of omega d. Omega d is equal to 1. So the expression of voltage will be in this form: e to the power minus alpha t. So alpha equal to 1 actually here. C to the power minus alpha t minus t C1 cosine omega dt, omega d is 1, plus C2 sin omega dt, and the initial condition is V0 plus equal to 0. So from that we get C1 equal to 0. So Vt is coming out to be e to the power minus t C2 sin of t. Entire expression should be multiplied by u of t. Another initial condition is at t equal to 0 plus, IC0 plus equal to I, that is 1 ampere current. So IC0 plus is equal to C dV0 plus dt. C is unity. So dV dt at t equal to 0 plus, this is the expression of voltage. So it will be C2 times of e to the power minus t, that is 0, into ddt of sin t is cosine t, that is cosine of 0, minus e to the power minus t, that is 0, into sin t. So it will be equal to unity 1 ampere. So this term is unity, this term is 0. So we get C2 equal to 1. If we put C2 equal to 1 here, we get Vt is equal to simply e to the power minus t sin t into ut. So once voltage is known, we can easily calculate current flowing through the resistance given by Vt by R. R is 0.5, so 1 by 0.5 is 2 times of e to the power minus t sin t ut. So at t equal to 0.1, I 0.1 will be 2 into e to the power minus 1 into sine of 0.1 into 1, this value. Inductor current ILT can be obtained 1 by L integration e to the power minus t sin t dt. The limit is 0 to t. Let us assume this integral is integration e to the power minus t sin t dt. This is equal to I is the integral. So this is the first function, this is the second function, e to the power minus t integration sin t dt minus integral ddt of e to the power minus t into integration sin t dt will be minus cosine of t into dt. So this is coming out to be e to the power minus t minus of cosine t minus plus again minus, so it will be e to the power minus t cosine t dt. So it will be minus e to the power minus t cosine t, and again we have another multiplication of two terms, e to the power minus t cos t. So e to the power minus t integration cos t gives us sin t minus integration of derivative of e to the power minus t is minus of e to the power minus t, it will be plus into ddt of into integration of cos t is sin t dt. So this value is also I. So finally we have I equal to minus e to the power minus t cos t minus e to the power minus t sin t minus I. So twice I is coming out to be minus of e to the power minus t is common, cos t plus sin t. So I is coming out to be half of e to the power minus t cosine t plus sin t. So if we put the value of I here, we get the value of inductor current ILT given by 1 by L, that is 1 by 0.5 into minus of e to the power minus t by 2 into sin t plus cos t whole multiplied by ut. So 2.5 becomes unity, so minus e to the power minus t times of cosine t plus sin t multiplied by u of t. And finally the capacitor current ICT is equal to C times of dVt dt, where Vt is e to the power minus t sin t dt, sin t into ut. So if you take derivative, C is unity, 1 into derivative of this expression will be e to the power minus t cosine t minus e to the power minus t sin t. So if you take common e to the power minus t, you get cosine t minus sin t. Therefore IC at t equal to 0.1 second will be equal to e to the power minus 0.1 cosine of 0.1 minus sine of 0.1, and from this IL t equal to 0.1 second e to the power minus 0.1 sine of 0.1 plus cosine of 0.1 multiplied by 1. If you compute this value, you will get the values of current at instant t equal to 0.1 second. This is left for calculation. Thank you.